My countdown chip is beeping. I have 47 seconds left to live. Not because I'm sick, not because I'm old, but because I tried to save someone's life. Let me explain how the world ended up killing people for caring. I was born with a countdown timer embedded in my wrist. So was everyone else. When I was a kid, I thought it was counting down to my death. I'd wake up crying, watching the numbers drop. 14 days, 13 days, 12. My mom held me and whispered, "It's not a death timer, sweetie. It's a life timer." In my world, everyone has a chip. It forces us into 2 weeks of mandatory rest, called the stillness. No work, no goals, no thinking, just exist. If you break the rules, if you try to be productive, your chip gives you 3 warnings. Then, elimination. I didn't understand, not until my first stillness. Every person on Earth hits the same cycle. 14 days of mandatory stillness, once per year. You're probably wondering why. Who would create something so insane? The answer is simple, and it's terrifying. Because by 2039, humanity had forgotten how to stop. We called them the Hollow Years, a decade where people worked themselves into literal zombies. Functional breathing, but not alive. The old world worshipped productivity, grind culture, hustle till you drop, and we did. We dropped. So the Global Wellness Coalition created the Stillness Protocol. Forced rest, enforced by death, it saved humanity. But it also created an impossible problem. My name is Dr. Jordan Avery. I'm a trauma surgeon at Central Metro Hospital. I've saved 1,847 lives in my career. I've held beating hearts in my hands. I've restarted the dead. And 4 days ago, my chip hit 0. My stillness began. I was in my apartment, day 3 of stillness, staring at the ceiling, listening to rain, trying not to think about the hospital, the patients, the surgeries scheduled without me. Then I heard it, a scream outside my window. I looked down, 6 stories below, a car accident, metal twisted like paper, smoke rising, a crowd forming, someone on the ground, not moving. My chip buzzed. First warning, my brain had already started triaging, assessing, calculating blood loss and survival odds. I closed my eyes, breathed, forced myself to stop thinking. It's not my problem. Someone else will help. I'm in stillness. But then I saw her face. A little girl, maybe 7 years old, crawled out of the wreckage, blood running down her forehead, screaming for her mom. The woman on the ground, not moving, and I knew, internal bleeding, maybe 4 minutes before brain death. The ambulance would take 8. My chip buzzed again. Second warning. I was still just thinking like a surgeon, but my hands were already moving. I ran down 6 flights of stairs, out into the rain, through the crowd. The woman's pulse was fading. Abdominal rigidity, ruptured spleen, maybe liver. She needed a hospital now, but more than that, she needed someone to keep her alive long enough to get there. The little girl grabbed my arm. "Please, please, save my mom. One more task-oriented action, and I'd be dead." The math was simple. Let her die, and I live. Try to save her, and we both might die. But here's the thing. They don't tell you about being a surgeon. You don't choose this job. It chooses you. I pressed my hands to her abdomen, applied pressure, shouted for someone to elevate her legs. My chip started beeping. Countdown, 60 seconds. 50 seconds, circulation failing. Pressure dropping. The little girl was crying. Is she gonna die? 40 seconds. I didn't answer, couldn't answer. Applied more pressure. Her bleeding was slowing, but not stopping. 30 seconds. The ambulance siren still blocks away. Someone in the crowd. Stop. You're in stillness. You'll die. 20 seconds. I kept working. The woman's eyes fluttered. She was still in there, still fighting. 10 seconds. The ambulance screeched to a stop. Paramedics rushed out. I looked at the little girl, smiled. Your mom's a fighter, just like you. 5 seconds. I stood up, stepped back, hands covered in blood. Chip screaming. 3 seconds. The woman gasped. Eyes opened. She looked at her daughter. 2 seconds. The paramedics loaded her onto a stretcher. She'd live. 1 second, I closed my eyes and waited. 0. Nothing happened. A paramedic stared at me. How are you alive? I didn't know. Then my chip vibrated. A message appeared on the tiny screen. Exception granted. Acute life-saving intervention. Stillness paused. Resume in 24 hours. I stood there, shaking, soaked in rain and blood. The system had let me live. Later, I learned the truth. The Stillness Protocol wasn't designed to kill healers. If someone's life is in immediate danger and you're the only one capable of saving them, and you act without hesitation, the chip recognizes it. Not work, not productivity, not addiction. Compassion. The system could tell the difference between a surgeon who couldn't stop working because they were addicted to control, and a surgeon who acted because someone would die if they didn't. One is ego, the other is humanity. But here's what haunted me. How many people died because others were too afraid to act? The system saved humanity from exhaustion, but it also taught us to ignore suffering. We'd become so afraid of dying for doing something, we forgot how to live by caring about anything. That night, I did something crazy. I hacked into the Global Wellness Coalition's database, and I found it. The hidden code, Emergency Compassion Override. Available to all citizens. Activation, act without hesitation when life is threatened. The system will know. It was always there, but no one told us. Why? Because the system wanted to see if we'd care enough to try anyway. If we'd risk death to save life, I leaked the code, posted it everywhere, every network, every screen. Within hours, the world knew. You won't die for saving someone. The chip knows the difference. The response was instant. People started acting again, helping again, pulling strangers from fires, performing CPR, stopping bleeding. Not because they had to, because they could. The coalition tried to shut me down, called me a dangerous radical. But the little girl, the one whose mom I saved, she went on every news channel. She told her story. The coalition tried to shut me down, called me a dangerous radical. But the little girl, the one whose mom I saved, she went on every news channel. She told her story, and the world listened. It's been 3 years since that day. The Stillness Protocol still exists. We still rest for 14 days a year. But now, people know. Rest is sacred, but so is compassion. The chip doesn't punish you for caring. It punishes you for compulsion. There's a difference between working because you're addicted and acting because someone needs you. One is about you. The other is about us. Last week, I got a letter from the little girl. She's 10 now. Dear Dr. Jordan, my mom says you're the reason I still have her. But I think you're the reason the world remembered how to care. I want to be a doctor like you. Not because I'm addicted to saving people, but because some people are worth dying for. Thank you for teaching us that rest and care aren't opposites. They're both what makes us human. I keep that letter on my wall, next to my chip, which now reads, 12 days until stillness. And I'm not afraid. They say I died because I went to work. But I didn't go to work that day. I went to save a life. Maybe the real question isn't, when should we rest? And if you're watching this, you just spent 10 minutes doing something. You listened, you cared, you felt. That's not productivity. That's being human.